Ladies and gentlemen, the American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show, sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, Trump called Christie a fat pig. He said, oh, I'm just joking. You can't use the word fat, but he is a fat pig. He's a disgusting human being. All he is out there getting interview after interview because he's willing to trash Trump. It's a joke. By the way, I do have to make fun of Trump and his team a little bit, referring to Don Jr., Eric Trump, Ivanka as children. They certainly aren't children. All right, the Trump trial. Trump took the stand already. He's on the stand. Sparks are flying. Erdogan is saying, control your client. He wants to give speeches, not answer all the questions. And Trump just keeps saying, this is a very unfair trial. I hope the public is watching. I mean, Trump knows what he's doing. He's going to lose the trial. That's a certainty. He's got a biased judge. But this is going to help him politically. Worldwide caution, they say. That's the message of the State Department. Americans worldwide caution. By the way, that includes here in the United States as well. Joe Biden has got us into a worldwide caution. Thank you, Joe. Musk has released Grok, an AI chatbot. He says it's better than Chatbit. Time will tell. Our military's not ready, according to former Lieutenant General McGregor. Says we're not ready at all. Does that shock you? Doesn't shock me. White House has red paint hands all over it. It's still there. The White House can't, over a weekend, remove the red paint. This is from thousands of Palestinian anti-Jews, anti-Israel, pro-Hamas protesters, all who say they want to eliminate Israel. They will not bash Hamas. And they are against Trump, shouting Allah Akbar right outside the White House. They let him do it. It's unbelievable. Eric Adams, construction man, travels all over the world, special connections with Japan, China, so forth and so on. He's the target of this illegal money coming into Adams. Walmart Black Friday, they don't even wait till Black Friday. There's not a Black Friday anymore. They begin now. Jews are turning more and more to the Republicans. What's about time? Are you kidding me? What has to happen for you not to wake up and realize the Democrats aren't your friends? Robert Card's friend says he tried. He told the police he's going to do a mass shooting. Do you believe this stuff? It always happens after the fact. $127 million of our money as part of the American Rescue Plan went to dead Teamsters. I mean, this just goes on and on and on. There's no watching our tax dollars. It's unbelievable. Foreign bond investors are getting shaky. There's fear that they might dump American treasuries. That would be catastrophic. Berkshire Hathaway is sitting on $157 billion in cash, but he can't cut loose $40 million plus for the Durrani victims. I loathe Warren Buffett. You know what? If your life is all about just the accumulation of wealth, give me a damn break. Schiff apparently had a permanent residence in Maryland. That'll be interesting in the California Senate debate. Mississippi governor race keeps getting tighter and tighter. The Republican is an incumbent, and it's going to be close. Zuck got hurt, blew out his ACL training. Too bad. Musk is getting ready to sell X handles for like $50,000. Jamie, let's check them out and see which ones are out there. Susan Smith drowned her 2 kids in a car years ago. Well, she's apparently a star in the jail prison system. There's at least 5 pursuiters outside the prison that romantically connected to her. You go, Susan. It's a bizarre world. Israel hits back at Hezbollah. Hezbollah made a threat. That's what Israel does. Hezbollah threatens the United States. We don't do jack. Gag order has been lifted on Trump. The circuit above Erdogan says, nah, baby, nah. How do you like that? Bank of America is having deposit delays. So is Truist, so is Chase, so is a lot of these other big banks, which means your deposit's being delayed. Our world's gone to hell in a handbasket. National drug shortage. James Comer says he wants his committee to investigate. On top of all the other problems we've got a national drug shortage. And on top of that, Our strategic oil reserves are the lowest they've been in 20 freaking years. It never ends. The Treasury, by the way, wants to sell, they want to sell $112 billion in bonds. Who wants to buy them? And the media has ignored this $40,000 check to Joe Biden that Comer says is from laundered funds. Meanwhile, a Trump appointee in January 6th debacle has been sentenced to 6 years. And the fourth RNC debate, they're trying to reduce the field, come up with rules, pick the location, more to come. Trump is up 48% on his rivals, and they're still holding those debates. Trump leads Biden in Georgia. Ergeron is worried about his clerk being talked about. You can trash President Trump, but God help you, his politically active clerk, you can't say anything. Total bullshit. Citibank says no more paper statements. The world's going to end. Defaults on high-yield corporate bonds are increasing. That's not good. An anonymous jury will hear the next defamation trial against Donald Trump from that one crazy lady. On November 10th, 35,000 Vegas workers are going to go on strike. Jamie, have you planned a Vegas vacation then?
No.
Good. A helicopter wind knocks down a grandmother and kills her at the hospital. That's scary stuff. Mike Johnson, you can't make this up. Mike Johnson, a new speaker, a long time ago, adopted a black guy. The Dems are trashing him about him. You can't make it up. Massive caravan is coming to the United States. Just think about all the things I've already talked about already. I got 40 more to go. Fetterman is in D.C. He says he feels like a creeper because he's alone. You bet your big old fat old Fetterman with his mustache hanging out in Washington, D.C. Eric Trump acknowledged Friday that he's in charge of the Weisselberg $2 million deal. Weisselberg did not testify all that great for the prosecutors. Yellow, when they went bankrupt, 30,000 jobs gone. That hurts. Top military officers have been approved. Yay! Tuberville finally loses out. This nurse right here has killed at least 17 patients. Scary stuff. Virginia High School, a rich Virginia High School, had 7 ODs in 3 weeks. It's going everywhere. Elon Musk says, get ready. If you're on the assembly line, like Amazon, a robot's going to take your job. This Hawaii couple right here would take the stolen IDs of dead babies. They've done at least 7 times to get passports, IDs, and live anonymously. Hezbollah threatened to blow us up. We do nothing. Nokia is suing Amazon in every court they can in every country they can, saying that they are using a system that they developed. They're not paying for it. A Jordanian was busted in Houston planning an attack upon Jews. Lululemon guy, the founder of Lululemon, is trying to spend $100 million to beat this muscle-eroding disease that he has. That's sad. In October, we only gained 150,000 jobs. It's not looking good. Amazon, according to the FTC, used a secret algorithm to make an extra $1 billion. Does that shock you? No. Bitcoin plunged. It's going down. Doctors and hospitals are complaining about the Medicare payment plan for 2024. Folks, hospitals and doctors cannot exist anymore without the government. Meanwhile, medical students are dropping out. They've had enough of the hell. They don't want the stress. FDA is going to ban a soda additive. I think it's bromine something. They say it's killing people. EPA budget. The Republicans are cutting it 40%. Bezos is moving from Seattle to Miami. He'll save you some income tax on that move. Fetterman says Manchin's going to lose and he wants his parking pass. Thomas is attacked again, said he groped somebody. Way back when. It never ends for old Clarence Thomas. Uber Freight is saying the tipping point is coming in shipping. Speaking of shipping, Maersk cut 10,000 jobs. Shipping company. Maersk 10,000. Yellow 30. Uber. I'm telling you, folks, when the shipping logistics thing starts to crumble, it's going to get bad. Stock up on water. Trump is winning in Utah. Haley and DeSantis is way back. Biden maybe reclassified the documents at Mar-a-Lago to make them classified. Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Abrams says the only reason why Kamala's attacked because she's black and a woman. Not that because she's a dumbass. Kill babies is what Illinois Palestinian protesters said to this exhibit that was put together by the Israelis. You can't make it up. They shouted, kill babies. Hamas says, we will give you back the hostages if you cease fire. Netanyahu says, give back the hostages, we'll cease fire. Democratic mayors want $5 billion of our federal money. Why? Illegal immigration coming into their cities. Loans. These were loans. You know what? If they say they're loans, then the issue is there has to be proof that the money, what was the loan terms, what was the loan for. Just dig a deeper hole, Joe. Me, of all the stuff we've already covered, John Corn, United States Senator from Texas, says Social Security crisis is coming. Folks, when all this goes down and hits the fan, we're already at $33 trillion in debt. Where are we going to chug in the trillions? It's unbelievable. Mayor Adams says, I know nothing about my fundraising. Do you believe that? I don't. Now, this is a funny story. In Afghanistan, the Taliban made growing poppy. This was a $1 billion business for Afghan farmers. Growing poppy for heroin. Taliban said no more poppy. The Taliban has done more for illegal drug trade than Joe Biden. We got to make this a clip. The Taliban stops a $1 billion poppy raising business. What does Joe Biden do? He lets everybody come into the United States. All right, what do we have next? Anti-Semitic protests are all over the country. Zelensky says he wants to meet Trump, and in 20 minutes we'll explain to him why he can't control Putin. Kim Reynolds from Iowa is endorsing DeSantis. That ain't going to make any difference. New York Times poll has Trump smoking Biden, and guess what? Axelrod, Obama's right-hand man, says maybe we need an alternative. The public is now saying we'd have no war and better finances if Trump was president. No kidding. Rural voters, they're not flocking to good old Joe Biden, the Democrats. The issues are enough rural voters in Kentucky that'll vote for Cameron in Kentucky. 1.8 billion verdict. I forgot, this was not just against the National Realtors. It was also against Keller Williams and another big real estate outfit. Apparently, the 6% commission might be on the way out. I tell you what, realtors are going to have a hell of a flux. Trump is beating DeSantis in Florida. You know what Christie says in New Hampshire? He's the cavalry. You ain't kidding, he's a cavalry. He's a whole platoon all by himself. Joe Biden says, I got no idea about Hunter Biden's business. Whatever happens to the college coaches when they say that? They still get suspended because you should have known. Biden's going to meet with G this week. What do you think is going to happen? Nothing good for us. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Local news, as always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platform. Where our lead story is 22 rounds of gunfire into a group up in Cincinnati, killing an 11-year-old, others wounded. It's insane. And you have the same old thing, the mayor and all these people. Folks, the people, the crime that's going on in Cincinnati, these are the same people that wanted to defund the police. Go after the cops. Cops quitting left and right. Cincinnati, Louisville, they're no different than these other big major cities. And Covington looks like it's headed that way, too. In law and crime, a Lexington man was convicted of not just drug trafficking, but armed drug trafficking. Send him away. Hankinson trial is not going very good. This is the Louisville trial. They keep giving trial after trial after trial in the Breonna Taylor. All the other cops are testifying against him. Cheviot shooting. A live-in boyfriend has been charged with the Cheviot shooting and murder of a woman. $153,000 has been stolen from Ultra stores. Unbelievable. That woman who was charged with killing her little baby, she waited 9 hours to call 911. That's not a good look. A Burlington man's been busted, raising $8.5 million in mushrooms. Holy cow. Look at those mushrooms. And somebody at the front door of their business in Over the Rhine was shot. I'm telling you, folks. Hell in a handbasket. And local news. Fountain Square tree is up, signaling the beginning of the Christmas season here. Damar Hamlin gave 10 scholarships to all those UC healthcare workers who helped save his life. They had a big shing-dang when he announced it. Good Sam, the Good Samaritan have been identified. They saved the dad and the baby on that 275 wreck. There could have been more deaths. Heroes everywhere. Bobby Mackey is going to use Mugby's in Florence until he remodels his existing place over in Wilder. Stamfordsburg fire. This was all the rage in my neck of the woods this morning. A very big house. Somebody said it was owned by Joe Griffin. Lit up last night. It was on fire. I think it was about 10 o'clock last night. It is a complete loss. In Kentucky news, Hardin County fires. Judge executive state of emergency there. A lot of fires. Remember, that's where Black Mountain is, our highest peak in Kentucky. A Murray man shot his phone, was arrested in domestic, trying to probably destroy the evidence. And a big fireball was seen going over Lexington. Kind of scary. Don't know what the heck it was. And the governor's election and all the state elections are tomorrow. Daniel Cameron's going to have a Trump call this morning. Cameron is McConnell's guy, folks. We'll see what happened. The Bashir crowds have been bigger than the Cameron crowds. It's not even been close. Early voting, it's been pretty strong. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Also, remember, Lieutenant Governor Robbie Mills is running with Cameron, so he gets elected. Jackie Coleman is Lieutenant Governor. Michael Adams against Buddy Wheatley. By the way, Michael Adams is running a TV ad in Lexington, Louisville, with Bashir in it. Attorney General Russell Coleman against Pamela Stevenson. Allison Bowl against Kim Reeder. Mark Metcalf, great guy for treasurer, against Michael Bowman. And Commissioner Agriculture Jonathan Schell against Sierra Inlow. Jonathan Schell's a good guy, too. It's expected, regardless of who wins governor, that the Republicans win the down ballots. In Ohio, we have issue 22, the railway. We'll see whether they're going to sell the railroad or not. And issue 1, of course, the big pro-life bill. Ford's laying off 1,600 workers in Louisville. Here we go. Louisville Slugger in Louisville is making special bats for the Texas Rangers. Floyd County drug bust. A lot of money, a lot of drugs. Glasgow Walmart, this guy right here, Crum, was taking photographs, a little voyeurism going on in Walmart. And a Louisville judge is in trouble for his misconduct in the courtroom. In Ohio, Dayton plane crash. Nobody died, thank goodness. And there was also a crash involving a police officer in Walnut Hills last night. This is a big story. Congressman Landsman canceled his town hall on Friday due to protests. He's Jewish, and he got a lot of bad hate mail and whatnot, and had to cancel it. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, thank you for watching Eric Deters World News. Today's latest headlines. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Chinese President Xi Jinping has met for talks at easing years of tension in Beijing. Mr. Albanese, who landed in Shanghai over the weekend, is the first Australian leader to visit China since 2016. The visit is set as a key movement in thawing relations after a string of trade and security disputes. Trade will top the agenda. Mr. Albanese is calling for the removal of Chinese tariffs on Australian goods. A deadly earthquake has struck a remote area of western Nepal. At least 150 people have been killed and dozens more injured. Rescue workers are having difficulty reaching some areas cut off by landslides. Large areas of Tuscany has been hit by flooding, leaving 6 people dead and several others missing after heavy winds and rainfall battered central Italy. Cars were swept away as the river Bisanzo flooded and people climbed on the roofs of the cars to escape the floods. And 5 people, including 2 children, have been killed and 6 others injured after a car crashed into a pub outdoor dining area in Melbourne, Australia last night. Police did not identify those killed, but said they were not local residents. It is unknown if any of the victims are related. Police are still trying to determine the cause of the crash and do not know if the speed was a factor. As always, thank you for watching Eric Deters World News. Until tomorrow, cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Well, the big news last night is the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Buffalo Bills 24-18, and it was a great game. A few of the big issues is Damar Hamlin did not play. That was announced before the game, so we knew he wasn't going to play. Some more issues. Joe Burrow's finger looked awful, but apparently he's going to be okay. 2 opening drives. You know what? When you win the opening coin toss and you say, we want the ball, that is awesome, especially when you drive down the field and score and immediately put Buffalo behind the 8 ball. You know what? The Bengals are better than the Bills. And with a healthy Joe Burrow, I have no question they can compete against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Miami Dolphins, and the Ravens, who are ahead of them in the standings. It's pretty wild, Josh Wentz. The NFC North, everybody's playing well. Yeah. But that's okay. We keep winning. We'll be all right. I'd already mentioned Damar Hamlin did not play. That was announced before the game. Joey Votto, the Reds announced that he was not going to be part of their team, at least not for now. They have to pay $7 million to cut him loose. But he's made a lot of money on that 10-year contract that he got, but not to mention the 10 years before that. But he did a nice video thanking the Cincinnati Reds fans. We'll see if anybody picks him up. My guess is he'd be a hell of a player to be a designated hitter, but we'll see what happens. FC Cincinnati beat the New York Bulls in penalty kicks, so they get to advance. University of Kentucky opens their season tonight against New Mexico State at home. Josh, I'm going to go out on a limb and say UK wins. Yeah. University of Central Florida beat UC. I wonder if UC is regretting joining the Big 12. Struggling bad. Ryan Blaney won the NASCAR Cup Championship. Congratulations to him. C.J. Stroud of Buckeye fame had a record game for the Texans. 470 yards and 5 touchdowns. Guess who the Texans play next, Josh Wentz? Who's that? The Cincinnati Bengals. Oh. Coming to town next week. The AP Top 10 did not really change very much. The big loser in the top 10 was Oklahoma, but everybody else kind of stayed the same. This was funnier than hell in high school football in Kentucky. Oh. Ashland, the refs called a touchdown for Ashland against Harrison County when they got to the 4-yard line.
It looks confusing, though.
I know. But anyway, it didn't matter. Ashland blew them out anyway, but it was pretty bad. All right, and then over the seas in Germany, the Chiefs went up on the Dolphins 21-0. The Dolphins came back. Tua blew it at the end. Yeah. He always does it. 21-14 Chiefs. Dallas Turner's being accused of being a dirty hit. This was a clean hit. Yeah. Straight up, boom on the quarterback down. By the way, I think the 15-yard penalty against the Bills on Joe Burrow last night was an ordinary hit. I mean, I don't get this at all. Josh McDaniel, you know, he got fired by the Raiders. Well, the Raiders won, and they're happier than hell. And you hear all the stories that are coming out about this. I mean, Josh McDaniels, the whole locker room turned against him. Yeah. Deion Sanders is saying trust the process. He changed offensive play callers. It didn't make any difference. They still lost. Shedeur Sanders is getting the hell beat out of him. But I'm one of the guys and the people that said, come on, man. He's just there for the first year. I mean, he's hyping it up, and they started out really good. But what did I say? I said this from the get-go. The problem with the Colorado Buffaloes is their lines. You know, the line of scrimmage. He's got great skill players, but the line of scrimmage makes all the difference in the world. Denver, can't make this up, the Nuggets, they kind of screwed up and left off the a proper 3-point shooting lines. They're going to fix that quick. All right, the Brazilian Grand Prix had a grandstand collapse. Not good. The valuables, speaking of Deion, that were stolen from the Rose Bowl from his team, have been recovered. Rutgers pulled a nice little one on the Buckeyes. They did a fake tush push. You got to like that. Brock Purdy, the San Francisco 49ers had a bye week. What did he do? He went to Iowa where his girlfriend, a family owns a farm, and farmed for a week. I like Brock even more. Duke lands Naganda. This is the top 5 guy. Duke's going to have the best recruiting class 2024. Texas A&M player punched this guy in the gonads after a play. He's apologized. Texas parade. Corey Seager did a mic drop because he said, we'll never know, would we, about the Houston Astros. That's what Bregman said last year. Seager gets him back. This is funnier than heck and so bad. Jerry Jones. Do you know what a glory hole is? Jerry Jones says, you know, he's like Joe Biden. Yeah. He's gotten demented a little bit. He said winning another Super Bowl would be like a glory hole. Jerry. Oh, my gosh. Michigan's under attack, but their athletic director's taking up for him and defending him, wanting to know full-blown investigation due process. You know what they're saying? They didn't know. Well, by the way, it looks like Ohio State's hired investigators to try to investigate Michigan, and Michigan's gathering those facts. An old video of Matt Petgrave seems to indicate he likes flying his skates around. I wonder if this guy's going to be able to keep playing. Who wants to play against him? Michael Schumacher, they haven't seen him in 10 years since a skiing accident, and it's not good, they say. The family admits it's not good. They've protected his privacy. The best Formula One racer. Go snow skiing. You should never go snow skiing. Knight on Jordan. This is a great old clip. Yeah. Bobby Knight said, watching Michael Jordan at UNC, said he never saw a better athlete play basketball. Right. Told Portland to draft him. Nope. They drafted Sam Bowie, and the rest is history. Saban had a blood vessel broke on Friday. They said it was from yelling too much, but he says it didn't bother him a lick. All right, NFL scores. Ravens 37, Seahawks 3. I tell you right now, the Ravens are looking good. Browns 27, Cardinals nothing. Texans 39. Who do they play? Not Buffalo. They got I got the wrong name. Anyway, the Texans beat a team 39. Buccaneers 37. Saints 24, Bears 17. Vikings 31, Falcons 28. Josh Dobbs didn't even have a rep in practice and throws the touchdown pass. He was just hired off traded from the Cardinals. Packers 20, Rams 3. Commanders 20, Patriots 17. They're all calling for Bill Belichick. Apparently, they're saying that Kraft wants Rabel from the Titans to be his next coach. Colts 27, Panthers 13, Raiders 30, Giants 6, Eagles 28, Cowboys 23. The Cowboys. I tell you right now, the pass interference call that they called on the Cowboys on that last drive was like, are you freaking kidding me? But let me see. Dak Prescott stepped on the line on a 2-point conversion. The tight end was not over the line. You know, they throw a pass short of the end zone. I mean, it's like, come on. They almost pulled it off, but they should have pulled it off. NBA scores, Cavs 115, Warriors 104, Spurs 116, Raptors 123, Suns 120, Pistons 106, Grizzlies 112, Trailblazers 100, Hornets 118, Mavs 124. NHL, 2 games, Devils 4, Blackhawks 2, Golden Knights lost to the Ducks 4-2. And the big games in college football, Oregon State beat Colorado 26-19. UK beat Mississippi State at Mississippi State. Guess who UK gets next, Josh Wentz? Bama at home. Bama 42, LSU 28. Washington 52, USC 42. USC fired their defensive coordinator. Michigan 41, Purdue 13. Louisville 34, Virginia Tech 3. Oklahoma State 27, Oklahoma 24. That was the last game between these two teams in a while because Oklahoma's left the Big 12. Florida State 24, Pitt 7, Missouri 20, Georgia 31, Missouri 21, Ohio State 35, Rutgers 16. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture. We got a lot of fun stuff. Well, Travis Kelce was asked if he loves Taylor Swift. And he said that is private. I wonder what Taylor thought about that. We'll see. Golden Bachelor, this cracks me up. You put a guy, and I don't care if he's the Golden Bachelor, the Young Bachelor, whatever. You got 20 chicks all going at it. It's the most messed up process in the world. Yeah. And people watch it. But it's like a train wreck. Like, all these women fall in love with it. And then when he dumps them, he doesn't pick them, they're like, well, I'm glad I didn't get picked. Oh, really? Then why were you playing the game?
Right.
And it's down to these three, and he's apparently in love with one of them. But it's just so ridiculous, man. Just think of, can you imagine, Josh, if you and 19 of your closest buddies were all pursuing the same chick, so you knew that chick was kissing and making out with your buddies when they went on dates with them? I mean, it's nuts. Yeah. Define love. 14 people are dead at a wedding from bootleg alcohol. Man, you got to be careful about that. I'm glad I don't drink moonshine. A coyote jumped over a fence in California to park, broad daylight, to confront a pit bull. And the pit bull scared the coyote off. But man, that's my wife gives me a hard time all the time because I carry my gun on walks. Because I said, you never know when you're going to get attacked by a pack of coyotes. She thinks I'm crazy. Well, this is Exhibit A. It could happen. Kelsey apparently is going to go with Taylor Swift on the South America part of the tour. We'll see. Marathon runners apparently suck out some of their brains for protein. There's a study about this. But I'm not a marathon runner. Bill Maher says Western civilization is being under attack by the woke crowd. No kidding, Bill. Sheen has made up with Chuck Lorre from 2.5 Men, and apparently they might do it again. All right, Will says he's had enough of the humiliation from Jade. It's about time, and he wants a divorce. The Duke of Westminster is only 32 years old, and he inherited, like when he was 21, $12 billion, Josh Wentz. What an eligible bachelor. Do you know who Shannon Beater is? I don't either. But apparently she had a DUI. She's apparently some celebrity. A DUI and leaving the scene of the accident. She's not getting jail, and there's people upset about it. There's going to be a new show coming out by Coppola's daughter, Sofia Coppola, and it's called Priscilla. And apparently it doesn't show Elvis in too good of a light because, you know, he basically went after Priscilla when she was only 13. Meghan isolates Harry. She wants to isolate Harry so Harry has no friends. Apparently her job is done. Cool story. Keanu Reeves is famous for being a really cool guy. He apparently met up with some guys at a gas station 10 years ago that played street ball, and he's played street hockey with them for 10 years.
That's cool.
Keanu's the man. Some chick gets paid $150 an hour to cuddle with people. I want that job, Josh Wentz. Nostradamus. You know what? They interpret his stuff. I mean, he doesn't say it exactly, so they interpret it. But if you believe Nostradamus interpreters, 2024 is the end. It's World War III and everything else. Barbara Streisand, and she's married, has written a tell-all book, and she's apparently going to tell all, including Bill Clinton. I wish you wouldn't say that about me. I told Hillary I didn't do babs. I said, Hillary, I did not do babs. Now everybody's going to know I did do babs. All right, Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard started a baby company selling baby stuff. $100 million in debt, and they're filing bankruptcy. I like these two people. Sorry their company didn't work out. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, this guy just had a baby. No photos yet. I wonder, in light of Paris Hilton's baby photos, maybe they're going to hold off. I wonder if the kid came out with tattoos on its neck. Zuckerberg hurt his ACL, he said, training for the match. Kind of implying it was a match with Musk down the road. He obviously doesn't feel ready because he's still training, but he's torn his ACL. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was taped. I don't think it's aired yet. Willie Nelson and others were put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't understand why. Willie Nelson's in the Rock and Roll. Jimmy Page came out and played Rumble. And Sheryl Crow and Stevie Nicks did a duet together. I don't know if you've seen this, but on Netflix, there is a great documentary called Sly about Sylvester Stallone. Very motivating. This guy's a lot smarter than all those roles that he plays. They might have found Noah's Ark on top of a mountain in Turkey. It looks like a place where it might have just stopped. That's pretty wild, isn't it? Yeah. If Noah's Ark really happened. Pauly Shore, longtime friends of Drew Barrymore, on her show, proposed to her. She didn't say yes or no. She just kind of said, well, that's awful nice. You know, Bohemian Rhapsody was a very popular movie. Apparently, it didn't make any money. I mean, I don't know why, but it didn't make any money. Willie Nelson's birthday celebration is going to come up on December 17th, speaking of Willie. Pepperdine's been voted the most beautiful campus. It's out near San Francisco. It's got a view of the Pacific. I have to admit, after looking at the photographs, I think I'm going to go to Pepperdine University next semester. CMA's coming up this week. We'll see if there's any protests. We got those two guys, Manning and Luke. Brian are the hosts. Charlize Theron, this is a wild story, Josh Wentz. Did you know this back in her background? She watched her mom shoot and kill her abusive dad.
That's crazy.
She turned out all right.
Yeah.
Apollo 13 astronaut Thomas Mattingly, may he rest in peace. He apparently helped, and this was the famous one where they were running out of oxygen and they were going to get stuck on the moon.
Right.
He was supposed to be on that, but he got sick or something. He wasn't able to be. He was 87 years old. Dolly Parton's making no apologies by doing a duet with Kid Rock. Dolly stands up. She goes, I do not condone. I do not condemn. All right, Bree Tessie from Selling Beverly Hills says she boinked Michael B. Jordan. Thanks for sharing that, Bree. I'm sure Michael B. Jordan's happy about it, too. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.